Congratulations, you've just picked up your very own Lexus GX470 and are ready to hit the trails and get that amazing off-roading and overlanding experience all these people on YouTube are talking about. But there's only one problem. You've never driven far enough off the pavement to know exactly what to do, and you're hesitant about asking your burning questions on any forums for the fear of sounding dumb or amateurish. But that's no problem, we've all been there before, and the fact that you're smart enough to do your research and ask these questions before venturing away from civilization says a lot. This video will be your step-by-step beginner's guide to get you through your very first day on the trails with your new Lexus GX470. So first of all, we're going to talk about airing down. Get yourself an air down tool. Most of these look the exact same and they're anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks. I'll leave the one that I use in the description. So take your air down tool and first unscrew your valve stem cap, then replace that with the bottom of the air down tool. Then you're going to use the upper knob plunger and press it in to where you can engage it with the valve core. Once you've engaged it with the valve core, you're going to start unscrewing the valve core and remove it completely. You'll know you're done when that knob pops itself out. Then you're ready to use the sliding deflator knob to control how much air you're letting out and to check the pressure. Now, pressure is only measured when no air is being released and the tool is in the closed state, so air is prevented from escaping. Take your time with this, let a little bit of air out at a time, then check the pressure, let a little bit more out, check the pressure. It's better to not let too much air out. 25 to 28 PSI should be good for moderate trails on stock tires. Once you reach that pressure, keep that sliding deflator knob closed, grab that outer knob that's holding your valve core, and screw the valve core back in. That's it. So now you're ready to put your vehicle into four-wheel drive. And if you're wondering what I mean by that, so you thought the GX470 was always in four-wheel drive or something? No, your GX470 is a full-time all-wheel drive vehicle, meaning that power is not always split 50-50 between the front and the rear. If you lift one tire off the ground, all of the vehicle's power will go to that one place. In order to get that four-wheel drive 50-50 front to rear axle split, you're going to need to press your center diff lock. That's the button right in the front of your center console. The light on your instrument cluster should blink for a few seconds and then go solid. You are not in four-wheel drive. Your center diff lock is not working until that light goes solid, so make sure it does that. So now you're in 4 high. Only use 4 high when you're on relatively flat dirt roads, when you will be going over 20 to 30 miles an hour. If the hill is more severe and you want to go slower, you'll want to go into 4 low. So how do you put the vehicle in low range? A little background on low range. Low range is like downshifting on your multi-speed bike to get yourself up a hill. Prevents your legs from being too tired and it increases the amount of torque that you can produce. For your GX470, it prevents your transmission temperatures from getting too high, reduces stress on your engine, and gives you more torque to power through obstacles. So once you've brought the vehicle to a stop in a safe place where you're not impeding traffic on the trail, put the transmission into neutral. This is very important. Put your transmission into neutral first. Not park, not anything else. Neutral. Then find the transfer case shift knob. Put the shift knob from high to neutral, then into low, ensuring that it is fully engaged. Now press firmly on the brake since there's going to be more torque at idle, and put the transmission back in drive. You'll notice how much more torque your GX470 has when it's in low range. So with your center differential locked and your transfer case in low range, your GX470 is in maximum attack mode and ready to attack the obstacles. Here's what you're going to do when you come to your first rutted or difficult section. When you lock your center differential, A-Track is automatically engaged. A-Track is Toyota's active traction control. It works like this. When you're going over a difficult rutted section and you end up lifting a wheel off the ground, A-Track will send braking force to the wheel that's up in the air spinning, doing you no good. As it applies brakes to that side, it essentially transfers torque to the other side wheel that actually is on the ground still and will help you get up. When you hear that clicking sound, that's just A-Track doing its thing. Don't worry about that. So next, use the throttle sparingly, but don't be timid, then only use a lot of throttle once you're stuck stuck and are spinning the tires. Use momentum instead of relying completely on A-track to do the job for you. When you pull up to that difficult rutted section where you know you're going to lift a wheel or two, go ahead and use a couple feet to gain some momentum and let A-track pull you through it. Work in tandem with it and you'll have a good time. If you try to crawl your way into it and then just smash the throttle, it's not going to help you at all. A-track works best around 1500 to maybe 2000 RPM, but usually you don't even want to go that high. Your truck has a lot of torque very down low in the rev range, especially when your transfer case is in low range. So to recap, get some good momentum, keep the RPM steady between 1200 to 2000 RPMs max, let A-track do its thing and pull you up the hill. If you need to back down as straight as you can, following the same route you took up if possible. You don't want to be turning too much if you have to reverse down a steep hill. That's a rollover risk. Okay, a little side note here for your first Lexus off-road adventure. Make sure you have enough water, food, and supplies to last you well beyond the duration of your trip. Once you have that all figured out, you can go ahead and relax and enjoy the beauty of the outdoors without worrying. Okay, next up, I'm going to show you how to descend a steep hill using the vehicle's incredible controls. So your vehicle has some pretty amazing equipment and I'm gonna show you in this clip. Okay guys, so you're in drive normally, right? But what are all these other numbers for? So this is your fourth gear, third gear, second gear, and this is basically first gear. So we have a really downhill section. It may not look like it on camera, but I wanna show you guys what you can do to minimize the amount of braking you have to do while you're going downhill, and also maximize your safety. Because say your brakes fail or something like that, something crazy, you burst a brake line, then you're gonna be having a bad time. You can use your car's engine to brake in this thing. And you have a big 4.7 liter V8 here, so that can pull a lot of vacuum and help slow you down. What you do is you wanna go into first gear. You can see the light on L. That basically is the lowest possible gear. So we're in low range, lowest gear. This is the lowest gear ratio your car has. So look what happens with the RPMs, if you could bring the camera. When you go downhill, I'm not pressing the brake, okay? RPMs are going up, but my speed isn't. I don't have any braking force on there at all, and it's just handling it perfectly. See, look at my feet. No feet action at all, okay? And we're only going 3 miles an hour. Another feature you can use to augment this already incredible feature, just having low, is press downhill assist control, okay? And you'll see it come up on your dash. And that's what the light looks like. And this will basically do the same thing A-track does. It won't let you over a certain speed, but it'll find the wheel or the tire with the most traction. Actually, we gotta find a bigger downhill section. I used the whole entire hill. A lot of seasoned off-roaders don't even know how to use this stuff, or they just never feel like using it or something like that. I think that you should use it, especially since you don't want to completely rely on your brakes if you don't have to. You have this contingency in place for your safety. Why not use it? Okay, so great job. You've made it through your first off-road adventure unscathed, and you see the pavement in front of you. So what do you do before you hit pavement? Well, first of all, you do not want to have your center diff lock engaged when you get onto pavement, because after a couple turns, your drivetrain could be destroyed. So before you get onto pavement, disengage the center diff lock. This is the first thing that you should do. Next, find a safe place to stop. Put your transmission into neutral like we did when we went into low range, except this time we're taking it from low range and putting it into high range. Now you're ready to air up. And that's our next section. In my case, at the end of the trail, I didn't have enough room to stay out of everybody's way while airing up, so I drove to a nearby parking lot. That's okay, just drive carefully when your tires are in the aired down state. You don't want to take turns too fast, you don't want to go too fast. Highway speeds are totally a no-no for when your tires are aired down. But if you can do this on the side of the trail if there's enough room for everybody else to get through. So first step to airing up, you need an air compressor. So get yourself an air compressor. This is an off-roading essential in my opinion. Hook up your air compressor to the battery and just start filling up your tires. Always confirm your air pressures with a secondary gauge. My air compressor's gauge is so far off that I don't trust it worth anything. I think most air compressor manufacturers just cheap out on the gauges. So get yourself an external gauge that you can use to confirm pressures on all 4 tires. This is just basic vehicle maintenance, but it's really important if you want to get the maximum amount of life out of your tires and also maximize safety on road. Okay guys, let me know what you think of my off-roading tips for beginners. I know I wasn't able to cover absolutely everything. If you're an experienced off-roader, you know what to do. Leave your pro tips in the comments for the inexperienced people so that they can learn from you as well as the video content. We'll see you in the next one.